Hello and welcome to Fluent in Russian. Today we're going to be talking about verb aspects. So in the Russian language, most verbs have two aspects, perfective and imperfective. So in a nutshell, the difference between them is that we use an imperfect aspect to talk about an ongoing or habitual action, while we use perfect aspect to talk about an action that is completed. So in this video we're going to talk only about past and present tense. We'll discuss future tense later in another lesson. So first let's talk about possible formations. So as you can see, there are different ways to make a verb perfective. First, you can add prefixes. For example, мочь, смочь, смотреть, посмотреть, читать, прочитать, писать, написать. And unfortunately, there's no clear rule as to what prefix add when. So perfective forms have to be remembered. So we also use suffixes. For example, отвечать, ответить, спрашивать, спросить, объяснять, объяснить. Shortening, становиться, стать, понимать, понять. Or another word, говорить, сказать, брать, взять. So let's talk about imperfective aspect in more detail. So what do we use it for? First, we use it to talk about actions in progress. For example, я читаю книгу. I am reading a book. We also use it to talk about repeated or habitual actions. And to talk about such kind of actions, we often use such adverbs and expressions as обычно, иногда, часто, редко, всегда, постоянно, никогда, каждый день, каждую минуту, каждый год, каждый час, все время. For example, я читаю каждый день. I read every day. So we also use imperfective aspect to talk about actions in the past that are not completed, especially if you mention for how long something happened and when something happened or was happening. For example, что ты вчера делал? What did you do yesterday? Я вчера работал. Yesterday I worked. Что ты делал вчера в 5 вечера? What were you doing yesterday at 5 p.m.? Я читал книгу. I was reading a book. Сколько ты жил в Париже? How long did you live in Paris? Я жил там 3 года. I lived there for 3 years. So we also use imperfective aspect to talk about an ongoing action that has been happening for a while, which is the equivalent of present perfect continuous in English. Сколько ты уже здесь живешь? How long have you been living here? Я живу здесь уже 4 месяца. I've been living here for 4 months. Notice that in Russian we use verbs in present tense imperfect aspect to talk about actions that have been happening for a while. We also use imperfect aspect to ask if someone has ever done something. For example, ты смотрел это кино? Have you seen this movie? Нет, не смотрел. No, I haven't. So now let's talk about perfect aspect. Well, first, of course, we use it to talk about a completed action. Compare. Я вчера читал целый день. Yesterday I read all day. That is imperfective. Я вчера прочитал 2 книги. Yesterday I read 2 books. So here we can see not just how much time we spent doing something, but what we accomplished. And this is perfective aspect. So we also use perfective aspect to talk about single actions that we ask somebody else to perform. That is imperative. In actions that one was supposed to do or intended to do, but failed to. So compare. Ты читала эту книгу? Have you read this book? Нет, не читала. No, I haven't. Прочитай. Read it. So after a while, they have a conversation again. Ты прочитала книгу, о которой я тебе говорил? Have you read the book I told you about? Нет, не прочитала. No, I haven't. Another example. Ты все еще читаешь книгу, что я тебе дал? Are you still reading the book I gave you? Я вчера ее читала, но пока я еще ее не закончила. I read it yesterday, but I haven't finished it yet. Another example. Прости, что я тебе так долго не звонил. I'm sorry I haven't called you for so long. You can see it's a repeated action. Прости, что я вчера тебе не позвонил. I'm sorry I didn't call you yesterday. So it is a single action that he failed to do. So after another verb, the verbs that follow may be in either perfective or imperfective aspect, depending on whether we're talking about a single action or a repeated one. Compare. Я забыл сказать тебе, что мы завтра переезжаем. I forgot to tell you that we are moving tomorrow. So this is a single action. He forgot to tell her one time. And she answers, Ты все время забываешь говорить мне о самом важном. You always forget to tell me about the most important things. So this is a repeated action. That's why we use imperfective aspect here. Another example. Я планирую сходить завтра в спортзал. I'm planning to go to the gym tomorrow. Again, this is a single action. Tomorrow. One time. Я планирую ходить в спортзал 3 раза в неделю. I'm planning to go to the gym 3 times a week. Repeated action. Imperfective aspect. So this is it for today. Click the link below for the notes. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. And until next time, пока-пока.